Hello my boys, good morning. I just arrived from the kitchen with the coffee ready because today we're gonna talk about the mercenary. I will give you a setup without breaking the bank, and even if you're playing a different build, you might learn a thing or two from this setup. Okay, so enough talking. Here I'm playing Shrapnel Ballista, which is a chaos related build. It is mandatory if you're playing this build to take this Amulet Precusto because of the last line, nearby allies damage with hits is lucky. This Amulet shines for builds that do chaos damage or lightning damage, because they have a long roll range. They can roll from very low to very high, and if you have lucky hits on such things, it will boost your damage greatly. For the anoint, you want to put dazzling strikes. This is a very sexy anoint that you can find here, which will give the mercenary blind with increased effect. Now, if you don't know what it will do, take it as a tiny defensive bonus. Pretty much with increased effect blind. If you don't have it already on an item, you can put this anoint. It's called dazzling strikes, yeah. Good! Now for the helmet here, I went with this one. It's for the budget. Nearby enemies have minus to chaos resistance. I'm doing chaos damage, so it's nice to have minus to chaos resistance. Depending on your damage type, you also have for the redeemer, minus to cold resistance. So you have all the elements here, depending on the influence type. Here we want chaos related helmet, so I will take with hunter influence. Keep in mind that you don't need to overpay. You can buy this helmet from the trade website with the hunter influence. And you spam the fortification station reforge chaos until you get this modifier. So if it's too expensive, you can trigger it yourself. Good, this is what I want to tell you. This will give this shock. Yeah, shocked enemies take increased damage. It's useful for bosses. You know, Valakos sign, shock for free, why not? Now here it's an interesting one. We will use anathema. Pretty much for this last line, your curse limit is equal to your maximum power charges. The default power charges limit is free. Now, meaning that we can apply free curses. Now, so you have one curse for your character. Here I'm using despair. You go because I got despaired with these mercenaries. What a terrible joke. And on the gloves for the mercenary, I have enfeeble and temporal chains. Pretty much these are defensive curses that you can use. If you don't have money for double curse on the gloves, no problem. You will take with single curse, you know, just enfeeble. Here it's an example, yeah. You take just enfeeble, and if you find later, you can take with temporal chains and enfeeble, so we can apply free curses. You know, why apply two when you can put three? Again, one from your character and two from the mercenary. So you need to have this. Now here for the boots is something very interesting. If you're playing an elemental build, you might want to put this one, Legacy of Fury, because it will scorch the enemies, yeah, so lower the resistances. But here, because I'm doing chaos damage, these boots will not benefit me. That's why I will do something very sexy here. I will take rare boots from the trade website with some live armor, you know, so make the mercenary a little more tanky, and you want to roll it with these things here, with embers and anchors. 1 second, I need to tell you something sexy. You take this and this. If you roll a Searing Exarch embers on rare boots, let me take an example because you will forget most likely. We take some boots. Oh,
need something?
Give me the boots. Any boots will do.
Maybe I'll just shuffle these around.
Okay, give this one. Good.
Good luck.
So you have some boots, you will put Searing Exarch, and you'll have multiple ground effects. You will see them in a second. You click on it, and if you're doing chaos damage, I highly encourage brittle ground, because it will help with your critical strike chance. Pretty much, mercenary moves around, you know, dances around at all times and leaves brittle ground. And when the boss steps on the brittle ground, it will take you will do more crits basically. Crit chance helps with the crit chance. Look, for example, scorch ground. This is so don't use scorch ground here because we have Legacy of Fury, which is more consistent. But you can get brittle ground, yeah, if you're playing a chaos related build, which is very useful. In order to get brittle ground, you just click here. Sept ground, it's also nice. It's a defensive thing. Let me show you something. Let's go on the website actually. Yeah, so sept here, you deal less damage. So the boss, once it's on the sub ground, it will deal less damage. So this is for defenses, yeah, that you can do. And I need to stress here, so you roll from embers. And let's put ground here. See are the modifiers that can drop. You have brittle ground, but I wanted to show you even this one. If you get it while a unique enemy is in your presence, drops brittle ground while moving. This is also fine because you need brittle ground only for unique enemies mostly, not for general pack clearing. So if you get this modifier, it's actually fine, and it also has an upside because it lasts more seconds. Actually, we want this, yeah. So how I suggest to roll it? The best thing that you can do, you put this one, greater Eldritch Embers. Don't put lesser, greater, and you roll it until you get the brittle ground. Man, you understood the idea. Here we want brittle ground, so it will help us with our crit chance for free. Here for the belt slot, it's tricky depending on your build that you play. Here inside my maps, with this mercenary, because we have determination, and with the Pantheon, I'm at 90% physical damage reduction. So physical damage mitigation for me, it's not a problem. If it's a problem for you, you'll put Calm's belt here, Calm's binding, because it will convert 25 of physical as fire, but keep in mind that this belt shines if you have a mage blood. So if you have 90% fire resistance, for example, this conversion is chef's kiss. But if you don't have, you need to be careful here with this one. But it's especially good for evasion builds that lack armor. You know, this is a good damage mitigation for builds that don't have physical damage reduction. But because my build here has 90% inside the maps, then I will use this one, which says nearby enemies are intimidated. So it will help you with your damage pretty much, take increased attack damage. Depends if you're doing attack damage, of course. This is for my setup. Now this specific mercenary uses 2 axes. In this case we will use Relentless Fury. This will give Culling Strike, which it can help with certain pinnacle bosses, you know. The mercenary will attack and will insta-die. Good. And for the last one I'm still experimenting. At the moment I just got this one. For the last line, chill enemies for 1 second if this weapon is an offhand. I'm testing it at the moment. Yeah, so this one I'm not sure at the moment. I'm using it for chill. Now for the body armor you have flexibility. I personally went with this one because it has quite a lot of armor, and it gives to the mercenary brutal shrine lesser and massive shrine lesser, making it more tanky and you know, big boy. Now if you buy this one blunder blow, make sure that you have increased effect of shrine buffs of you close to 70%. Yeah, because it affects the mercenary. Actually, if we take a look at this bad boy, you will see the shrine buffs on him at all times. Also it makes it bigger, you know. He's bigger than me. So my boys, again, this setup is for budget, because we actually have a better helmet here called Crown of the Tyrant. Let's go on the trade website. Actually, I want to show it. The best in slot helmet for my build here is Crown of the Tyrant. The problem is a lot of people cannot afford, you know, this helmet. Let's see. You see, a lot of divines, you know. And you can put here a white socket. You can color it with white. I think with Omendo Blanc, should work, no? And you have added chaos damage per socket, and nearby have to all resistances. This includes chaos resistance, yeah, so it's better than that influence, yeah. So this is the best in slot. You know, I'm tempted to buy it, you know. When you're tempted, you're tempted. Should I buy it? Let's see, this is... 1 second, I need to think a little. Should I buy this crap? We buy it, of course. What silly question is, I want to color it on stream now. It's not stream, on this video I want to color it. What a silly question. I'm pretty sure that this helmet will, as it goes more popular, it will go even more expensive with the mercenaries. Oh, I need to check if it's armor base. It's armor energy shield. No problem. Come on, give me the... Let's visit his hideout. Okay, I'm doing now in the video. So this is the best in slot helmet that you can take. You can take it later. But I need to mention it, you know. I need to mention it. Yeah. Give it to me. Nice. Now we need to put here a white socket, because you see, this is an interesting helmet. It says you and nearby allies have chaos damage added per white socket. So we need to make this into white. Ahoy there. Ahoy. So we go here and we put here blanking. Omen of blanking. And we use this one. Should work, no? It should work, my boys. We put here for chromatic orb and we click it. Yeah, it worked. Okay, my boys, this is how you get the white socket on Crown of Tyrant, and you will put it here. This much better, yeah. So this lowers the resistance from the enemy, including chaos, and it gives you flat added chaos damage to attacks. Great damage boost here. This is the best in slot that you can use. I wanted to include it in the video so you know. You need to pay attention that this specific mercenary with determination, it's a strength base. Now you're asking, hey boss, why you don't go for that mercenary that has strength, int and dexterity, all 3 attributes? The reason is simple. When I'm doing tier 17 maps with this mercenary, he will stay alive. He stays alive even in mega juice maps. When I'm doing Simulacrum with this mercenary, he stays alive. When I'm doing Uber mode pinnacle bosses and the fear, the mercenary stays alive. You need the mercenary to stay alive in order to benefit from the amulet and all the other things. If the mercenary dies, he is useless. You know, he can go to the poop land. That's why we want this one. It's a very tanky boy. Yeah, if the mercenary dies, it's useless. So I try to go with one with haste, or I try to that one with strength, int and dexterity, and it died in Simulacrum, it died in Uber boss, it died in very juice tier 17 maps. So that's why for my build we go one with the determination. Not only that, again, inside the maps, with the Pantheon and this aura, my build here, Shrapnel Ballista, reaches 90% physical damage mitigation. So it's a very tanky boy, you know what they say? Good. So here I explained the setup, which is very sexy, and see you on stream, because I'm streaming daily. Enjoy the rest of the day, and good luck!